Hello, this is Valerie Aiello, and you are listening to Idea Diary. Thanks for coming back and hanging out, y'all. It is another day of podcasting every day for the first time ever. So I had another busy running around errands kind of day, and I had to meet with somebody. So again, I have another one of those weird days of constantly doing something and never actually getting to sit down and have interesting things pop up in my mind. So still feeling a little frazzled in some way, but still finding it fun to come back and record an episode. So my idea today was I have some windows open on my computer of different business YouTubers. A lot of people do the same videos over and over again, like the morning pages videos. I had no idea I assumed they might do videos about that on YouTube or something, but ever since I did my episode on morning pages, I keep getting the YouTube algorithm keeps putting videos about morning pages into my feeds, and it's just so interesting to me that something so probably perfectly aligned with me never came into my lexicon. I don't know what word I should use, but until I started meditating every day. And I've had two super random lucky things happen to me in the past 2 days. And things just seem to be, when you just feel like wheels are turning and you don't actually have to do anything? That's what I'm having, that feeling. And I'm feeling super lucky and good. Okay, so one of the business YouTube videos that I see a lot are videos about waking up at 5 a.m. I don't know why. That seems like a personality trait. Unless you have a job like you are a doctor or some kind of person that you have that sort of shift in your work schedule. I don't know why people equate waking up at 5 a.m. to success. For me, I wake up naturally every day, no matter what, unless I'm choosing to do something that's super fun. So to me, waking up whenever you want every day equals success. And sometimes I'll wake up at 4 a.m. and work until 9 and go back to bed. And sometimes I wake up at noon. Sometimes I will sleep all day because I drank the night before. I just organize my life in a way that my sleeping schedule is whatever I want. I'm a night owl, naturally. So I do a lot of the second sleep kind of. That's an old-fashioned way of kind of existing. So you'd probably eat dinner before around sunset time, and then you go to bed once it got dark, because it's probably very expensive to keep lamps and kerosene lights on and candles. So once the lights went out, you just went to sleep, but then you might wake up at 3 a.m, have all this creative burst of energy and work. And it was probably, you're getting a lot of work done, so it was probably worth whatever the cost was for your candles or your lantern. But then you would go back to sleep, and then you'd wake up in the morning whenever the sun came up. So I think the sun came up today at 7 in Austin, about 7 a.m. I know because I forgot to put the trash out the night before, so I was waiting for the sun to come up so I could put the trash cans out. Yesterday was a weird sleeping schedule for me, but I pretty much stayed up until 7 a.m. And I guess I just took a nap the day before. I don't know what I did, but it just, I was just up working until 7 a.m. And then I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and that was, a weird day for me, but I don't get, maybe someone can tell me out there, but I don't get the you have to wake up at 5 a.m. thing to be successful. I don't understand that. Okay, another video where business YouTubers make a lot is how to overcome procrastination. I feel like the procrastination thing goes along with the negative self-talk, and sometimes that's where I think pivoting comes in, because I think a lot of procrastination is probably being realistic and having an instinct that the thing that you're supposed to be doing is actually really you're not excited about it. It's not good for you. I mean, there are things that just have to get done, cleaning, just certain things. But let's say you've procrastinated on your taxes. It's not your top skill and it's not very easy, but that is somebody else's top skill. And you just organize your stuff and pass on, your tax info to somebody that's great at it. The procrastination is done. And it's probably more fun to get your stuff together for your tax person to do than it is to sit down and try to figure out everything and do everything. And, so I think when people procrastinate, it's actually a sign that you should switch things up and pivot. And I don't consider it, a bad thing. I think it's like an intuition thing. It's like an emotion that's telling you to reevaluate your situation. You're not excited about this. You're probably not good at this. How could you change things up? What are some new ideas to make this more awesome? How can you pass this task along to somebody else? That's procrastination. I see a lot of videos about that. Another video that I see a lot is how to say no and when to say no. And that's a really hard thing to learn. I think when you want to say no, sometimes, when you should say no sometimes, and then you are too afraid to say no for a myriad of reasons. However, once you get good at saying no, I think that's when some magic starts to happen. So for me, it was really hard. It wasn't really hard, but it was difficult to grasp the idea that I should say no to client work. Even though it's money, and even though it might be an easy thing to do, I'm really taking away valuable time and energy from myself and my own business, of making the stuff that I want to make. And I had to learn how to say no to that. And part of saying no to that meant that, being realistic about all finances and kind of reevaluating that and making sure that I don't overspend, that I have enough money to get me through however many years. Learning how to say no is pretty hard. And I'm sure there's a ton of, it's hard to say no to your family. It's hard to say no to your best friends. It's hard to say no to coworkers and, your husband or your wife or whatever it is. And but once you learn how to say no and politely, or just kind of avoid being put in situations where you're going to be asked, that is the magic of you starting to become who you are, become the thing that you want to be, when you're just totally focused on the things that you want to do and you don't let any outside forces come and distract you. Okay, what else is there? There's a lot of people that give their books, the list of books you should read. I think it's always valuable. I think that's pretty good. That's a good video for, learning more and staying motivated. I like it when people share other people's YouTube videos or YouTube channels so that you could check out their stuff. I think it's pretty nice. There is something that I saw called Sunday Scaries. I guess that's a thing. And I think it's when people having their weekends. So most people, I guess, just have Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. And then once they hit Sunday, they start having a lot of anxiety because they have to go back to work. I feel like that is another symptom of your emotions are telling you you are not living the most perfect way you could be living, and you should reevaluate what you're doing. If I had the Sunday Scaries, if I guess I can't think of a time when I've had that, because it's been a long time since. I plan my life where I'm actually, my favorite day is Monday, because that's when everyone else is. The weekend is when people are off and they want to do things, and that's when the parties are. So I have to stop working and go and hang out, which I'm completely happy. I'm more happy to be distracted by fun and parties and family than I am to not have anyone asking me to do stuff. If you know what I'm saying, I am grateful for that. But I might get the Thursday Scaries, the Friday Scaries, because I know that even though I really just want to sit in my computer and I want to focus all weekend and every day, and I just cannot wait to wake up and get back to my computer and start making stuff. Monday's always been my favorite day. Plus I like it's like a new week, and a lot of times, even if you don't have a schedule and you don't have anything to do, you still have those same day of the week triggers where I feel like Mondays still feel like Mondays, and Fridays still feel like Fridays, and the weekends still feel like weekends, even though I don't have any responsibility or any attachment for any reason to care about any day of the week. I still have all those things. I still have all those same vibes that you get, when Friday hits or Saturday hits, you feel like, oh, it's time to go have a drink with somebody, or, I have all those same emotions and stuff. But the feeling anxiety about any day, if you're having that, you ought to reassess what's happening. And I know it's easy to say when you have to deal with that problem of how do you change up your life. There's a lot of ways. You can still have a job and not be terrified of Monday. You can still organize your life and have responsibilities and not have a stomach ache on Sunday and find it hard to sleep and find it even hard to relax and enjoy your day off because you're just anticipating the day on that's coming ahead of you. Anyway, Sunday Scaries, I feel that was really sad to hear about that's a thing. Side hustles, I see a lot of people doing side hustle videos, and I feel like you got to be really, 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 really protective of your time. I would say no side hustles. I might not have said that in the past. That might have been something the younger me would have been super into. You have all these jobs and all these clients, and then you have a side hustle, and then you have this, and you do. Getting older and trying to make money on your own without a paycheck. I really, 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 I have 100,000 ideas, and so I have to reel myself in to say, okay, I'm working on these 5 ideas, and it's really hard to focus when you have a million ideas. But sometimes, I have, so out of the 20 things I want to achieve, lifetime goals and businesses that I want to have become successful, I do back burner things. So I have a business that I'm building slowly, but I'm building right now because it's something I want to do in my 50s and 60s. And there's businesses that I want to do right now. Like, I need to make it happen right now. So I'm going harder on that. So I front burner, back burner, different business ideas. But I would never have I'm just at the point I would never have a side hustle because I wouldn't want to get distracted from the things that I really want to do. Because a lot of times a side hustle can be just, it can be distracting. And I know everyone, you might work at a fast food restaurant at night and that pays your rent so that all day long you can do your real passion. That's fine. But if you have a side hustle, I feel like if it's not the most passionate thing in your life, and it's just an extra $500 a month or $1,000 a month, you got to make sure that you're at least making minimum wage doing your side hustle, because if your side hustle is actually when it's all said and done, you're really just making 50 cents per hour, that's probably not good. It's great if that is your passion and that is your thing that you want. Making zero money for 10 years can be fine too. There's a million different paths. But if it's just something where you're trying to make extra money, I would say just get any part-time job where you just show up, you work, and you leave. You're not giving any of your brain power to it. Like, it really generally is just something you can show up, work there, collect a paycheck, and get out the door. I hate when you're afraid to say no, and then you have a side hustle, and then you're procrastinating, and then you're not getting enough sleep because you have to wake up at 5 a.m. every day to be successful. It's a lot. So I'm a pretty chill person, so I've kind of figured all this stuff out for myself. But, I'm not perfect. However, I don't know, I just thought these would be some weird topics to discuss today for today's show. And I guess the show's over. And hopefully I'll have something entertaining tomorrow. And I'll definitely see you. And I still don't know how to end the show, so I'm just going to play the music.